Frigidaire. We introduced the first home freezer, the first pulsator agitator washer, and now we introduce the Frigidaire Orbit Clean dishwasher, designed with a unique wash arm that gives you 4 times more water coverage for a consistently better clean. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
Hi, I'm John Mallos. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with Me here on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this day. Today, the focus is on business, a local business, a big, huge success, an interesting story by a local sports hero. 436-MeTV, option 11 if you want to call in. Remember, turn down the sound. Can't wait to get into the show today. Back in a moment. Welcome back to the program here on Connect with Me on Comcast Channel 187 and 43.6 if you have an antenna. 436-MeTV and option 11 if you want to hit that, and also turn down the sound if you want to call in. Remember, if you don't turn down the sound, we can't take your call because there's too much background noise and we can't hear you. Today the focus is on business, an incredible story. It really is a story that some people could write a book about. It's a story about a local sports guy that hit it big in the world of sports, but then, you know, he had that forced retirement, but then, you know what? He came back strong, opening up his own business. It is really a story to write home about. Let's take you to the videotape. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about, my friends. Cup of Joy Coffee House in Clovis is the focus of our show today. This place was a dream for a local sports star, Zack Follett, whose career in the NFL was cut short due to injury. The former Cal linebacker was drafted by the Detroit Lions back in 2009, but was hurt a year later, so he retired in 2011 and opened up Cup of Joy in 2012 in his own hometown of Clovis, and there he is right there. His idea was born overseas in the UK. I don't know, was it? We'll ask him about that. We'll ask him about that and much more, but hey, he's not afraid to roll up his sleeves there, wait on customers, take orders behind the counter, and sweep the floors, my friends, if necessary. And guess what? In a little more than a year, this place has already expanded. Not only do they serve premium coffee here in the Central Valley, the best in the valley, they now have pastries, a lunch menu, and they have doubled their staff. And if you go in on a Saturday morning, I'm sure you'll run into Zack Follett, the owner of Cup of Joy in Clovis. Live in our studio right now is Zack Follett, the former NFL player and now the owner of Cup of Joy. He is here to talk about his business, how it all started, where it's located, where you can go to get a cup of coffee in the morning if you want to on a weekend or even on the way to work during the week. 436-MeTV, option 11 is the number here. If you want to call in, please do turn down the sound. The focus today is on a very successful local business owned by a local person. Back with our program in just a moment.
I love a joke.
Say, Lucy,
Yeah, Ricky?
a tramp came up to me in the street and he said he hadn't had a bite in weeks.
What'd you do, bite him?
Opening butler joke, buddy, come on.
The master says to the butler, Jeeves, did you put fresh water in the goldfish bowl? And the butler says, why? They didn't drink up what I gave them last night.
You know that ancient joke about the guy who saves his regiment, shoots the cook?
No. How does it go?
Back here with our program, Connect with Me. Today, the focus on business and on that coffee house in Clovis. It is on Clovis Avenue. Glad to have along today Zack Follett. Good to see you, Zack. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Say, thank you for coming on. Thanks for taking the time. I know how busy you are. Did I describe it accurately in the monologue, how your place started? I'm interested in that UK story. How did the idea start in the UK?
It started really, I was on a mission trip, so once I was done playing football, I didn't know anything else to do with my life because I mastered how to hit people hard, and that doesn't really translate over into the real world. And so I
wouldn't want you to hit me.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
I had to refocus my energy, and I went on a mission trip, and it was when I was there, I was going to use my platform to kind of talk to kids about American football, share my testimony of coming to Christ. And when I was there, I was in this coffee shop in the Costa Coffee in the UK. And I'm reading my word filled up with joy. I'm drinking this cappuccino, the best cappuccino I had, I said. And I just remember looking at it like, this is a cup of joy. And as I said that, I just felt the Spirit of God just kind of say, look around this coffee shop. People connect over a cup of coffee. So I want you to go to your hometown and connect to your community and tell them about the love I have for them. And so I said, man, that sounds awesome. So I went back home to hometown, Old Town Clovis, and I just started kind of getting antsy, trying to Google stuff on the internet. Because if I do my goal, my saying in life, if you're going to do something, do it right.
Yeah.
And so I went to a coffee school in Portland, Oregon. I learned all about coffee. I went to over about 50 coffee shops to try to take a little bit of everyone's done something right. So I just want to take a little bit from them and combine it into my own vision and to create a comfortable environment and serve the best product I could get my hands on.
Well, you're a likable, approachable person. There's no question about that. And so were you kind of welcomed into these coffee houses where you were doing the research? Did you tell them why you were there?
No, I was just undercover.
Oh, you were undercover. Oh, okay. You know? All right.
One thing though is with awesome.
You were taking notes.
Taking notes, little hidden pictures, you know. But it was
iPhone.
Right. But what's so awesome about the coffee community is everyone's so friendly. Everyone is,
I know.
Because we all just want to appreciate and taste good coffee. So everyone is more than welcoming to share their skills that they know and share the beans and the knowledge that they have. And that's what's been so awesome. I mean, I've had so many people from the coffee community, from Seattle to New York to San Francisco, have all come to the shop just to kind of help grow my business, and so we can all be successful together.
Yeah. Hey, let's roll a videotape there, Aura, and take a look at Cup of Joy in the city of Clovis, Zach's hometown, of course. That's where it all started. And what are we looking at here, Zach?
Right here is just some couches. This is the beginning, like the front of the shop. I got a local artist wall. All those pictures up there is where local artists come hang their art. And then this is a busy Saturday morning. Everything here, as you see, like it's people that see the mustache up there, like call it the hipster coffee shop. It's just something that I took. Like this is a little San Francisco feel to it, mixed in with a little of the UK and Portland. I try to create an environment when you walk into it, you don't feel like you're in Fresno or Clovis. And it's gone really well. I've been totally blessed what God has done. Taking someone who knew nothing about business and how he's really just all I was obedient. He gave me the skills and the knowledge because I was able to lead a team when I was playing football, but leading 19-year-old female employees is a little different challenge.
So
he's given me the skills, and got the throne up there. That's the throne that God sits in, man. He's blessed it, man, and the customers too. It's been so amazing what kind of customers Cup of Joy has brought in. It's really been awesome to connect, because when I was a football player, I kind of stayed in my own bubble. I didn't really talk to too many people. And then here, you don't really have a choice. You're behind the bar, and anyone can come up and talk to you, but it's really done a good job.
This has almost like a big city feel to it, just looking at the video that we saw there. Am I right about that?
Yeah, big city, definitely. Like I said, Portland, Seattle, San Francisco, the UK. I wanted to create something to where, because from Fresno, we all like to jet out of town and go experience those places. So why can't we, spend some extra dollars, spend the extra time of layout and design to bring that here?
I covered professional sports in my younger day when I was a sportscaster. I was in my 20s, of course. And the one thing I learned about pro athletes, and I knew a lot of them, is game time. There's a time to focus. You're kind of in your shell. You don't bother them. You leave them alone. You know that. You're in that zone. You're in that zone, that focus zone. Is it different being in business? Are you still in a little bit of a focus zone, or do you have to branch that out?
No, it's something that I've developed. What's so amazing is it's almost like when you're an owner of a business, you have to be able to hear and see everything.
So it's different than focusing on football,
it's
right?
Different.
It's a
football,
different focus, right?
Focus, it's just, you don't even hear the crowd when you're out there. You're just focused into your assignment, your gap, your responsibility, and you go from there. You have to do your job. Well, when you're kind of shepherding over a staff and employees and customers, you have to be able to see the whole vision, the whole picture. I got to hear what the customer is ordering, and then also make sure I'm steaming the milk right, and then to see any other customers talking and chit-chatting of something we're doing wrong that I can help fix. It's really developed that skill, but also I think what football helped me with business was, I remember when we're packed, we just opened, I'm coming in, I'm the Costco runner, like you said, janitor, I was everything.
Clean the toilets.
Clean the toilets. So I'm holding all this Costco stuff, and it was just, I remember we're so busy, and I just had this voice, like, it's adapt or die, game's on the line, and football kind of proved to me that I can respond in tough situations and win the game. I've done that with teams, and so it's like same thing with business. You just need to lead, and I developed the leadership skills through football.
Were you shy growing up?
I think
you wanted to keep to yourself. Were you kind of in a show,
No,
playing football, or were you kind of an extrovert?
No, I'm an extrovert for sure. But it wasn't until sophomore year of high school, actually, I was kind of, the awkward freshman, sophomore. Then once I kind of became good at football, my identity was, this good football player, and I kind of filled into that. And that took me, that brought me out of my shell. I had confidence in who I was as a football player. And that's why I'm just so thankful for my relationship with God, because now football's taken away from me. And if I was still Zach the football player, I would be a hopeless guy. And so he's kind of restored my vision and my identity.
So how much confidence do you have now as a business person? Can you equate it to pro sports?
I think, definitely. I mean, I'm only a year and a half into the business world, but I think the experience and the knowledge and the wisdom that I've learned from it has been, so valuable. And one thing coaches always told me about football was I was very coachable. And because pride, you'll fall on your face with pride. I'm always willing to take in wisdom to learn so I can make my business and everyone else around me better.
Yeah. Zack Follett is our guest. He's the owner of Cup of Joy in Clovis. And what's the address over there? Clovis Avenue?
518 Clovis Avenue. It's on Clovis Avenue and 5th Street next to the 500 Club.
All right next to the 500 Club, a good landmark to remember there. And Cup of Joy is the focus today, 436 MeTV option 11. Do come back, do call in if you want. Turn down the sound though if you do.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Whirlpool appliances we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start, but you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Touch the new Whirlpool Ice Collection. It offers a modern style made to create an inspiring kitchen experience. Save big on this Whirlpool Black Ice or White Ice kitchen. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
We're back here on Connect with Me this morning and talking about business and a very successful local business, only about a year and 4 months old, but doing quite well, owned by a local sports star, a professional sports hero here in the city of Clovis, played with the Detroit Lions, of course. And I want to put up a little disclaimer and say that we here at Connect with Me support local business right here in our Central Valley. In the Fresno area, always have, always will. That's why we have the Focus on Business segment every Tuesday here on Connect with Me, because Ventura TV's been here since 1951. Believe it or not, that was before I was born. Okay, that's a long time ago. So we want to branch out and support any kind of local business here in the Central Valley. Talking to Zack Follett, want to take you to videotape number 2 inside Cup of Joy and take a look at that place one more time, right near the 500 Club. Here are the customers coming in on a Saturday morning, Zack. And when is it most packed? Would you say over the weekend or any time during the week?
Yeah, I would say your Friday and Saturday. Friday and Saturday mornings are pretty busy. We've just added live music every Friday night, starting at 7 p.m. And that brings in a crowd as well. But yeah, if you want to come in for a quick cup of coffee, I'd say get there when we open around 7, because Cup of Joy is a place I found out where people get up and come and meet. So they usually meet around 8, 9, 10 o'clock is when it gets busy.
What made you think that you could compete against the likes of, say, Starbucks? I mean, that's the big elephant in the room, trying to compete against them. Did that thought cross your mind?
Yeah, no, my name, I always call him the Green Monster, but at the same time, I mean, I joke around with it, but I'm so thankful for a company like Starbucks, because America wasn't a coffee nation until Starbucks came along. Yeah. So I kind of saw what Starbucks had done, how they created this thing with they crushed all the independents when they opened. They crushed all the independents. And now I think America's starting to say, we want to get back to the small business. So you take their product, take their business plan, and just create a better product, better ingredients.
Is that what you did?
Service. That's basically.
Did you take their business plan?
I basically, I would go in there before I opened Cup of Joy. I just kind of saw what they would do. I'd sit and watch the customer customers and how they interacted with them and the menu products that they had. And I just kind of put my own spin on it and thought, you know, if you're going to do something, make better tasting drinks in them, be friendlier customer service. So really, I've realized I tried to compete with them in the beginning. Cup of Joy is its own entity. We're totally separate. From the way we do everything.
What's totally different about your place than, say, Starbucks?
I'll just start with the ingredients. So they're mass producing beans. They're roasting. They're getting beans that they're growing and mass producing dark roast. Well, we have small batches. I get organic farms from Kenya, Ethiopia, and small roasters like Verve out of Santa Cruz and Victrola out of Seattle. And you build these relationships with the coffee growers and the roasters, and then it's up to us as baristas of how we extract the coffee, the proper knowledge. Doing a pour over is a handmade cup of coffee where it takes about 4 minutes to make, but you can taste the difference. And to us, our coffee is kind of, I compare it to wine. Different fruit notes in the coffee, because coffee is a fruit. If you don't over roast it, you can taste the different notes that the fruit offers.
And so now, I said in the monologue that you've expanded here in the last year and 4 months. Where did you start in terms of employees, and where are you now? And you expanded your menu. I understand you have a full-time chef. Is that true?
Yes. Expanded greatly. That. So this is my little small vision of opening this business. I was stressing over, I got to sell 30 pounds of coffee to make this overhead work, and stressing with fears and worries of opening a business. But within the first week open, we ended up going through 130 pounds of coffee.
Wow.
It was amazing. So with that, I opened with 6 employees. I thought it was just going to be me and my buddies running a coffee shop and just have a good time. But the public came in, they put a demand on us, and we had to grow under the fire. And so we've expanded. We now hired a full-time chef to make our cost of goods, because when you're a small business, you have to go through the middleman to get what you need. And so now I have the experience. I have a good platform of who I am and my identity of Cup of Joy and what we're about. And now it's just expanding to we're up to about 14 employees, full-time chef.
Wow.
And the future's looking good.
Wow. And you have sort of a lunch menu, right?
Yeah, lunch menu. We do a breakfast pastries, bagels, all different types of pastries, and a chicken artichoke sandwich, which is definitely a suggested item.
Good morning. You're on Connect with me with Zack Follett. Your question, please.
I had the distinct pleasure of experiencing the coffee house on Saturday. It's a great place. Great ambiance. It reminds me of some of the capitals of Europe, some of the coffee houses in Europe and in England. My question for your guests this morning is, could you focus maybe on the cuisine, what you have in mind for the lunches? I saw some quiches and something else that I wasn't sure what it was. Looked like a quiche. Maybe it was an omelet or something in your pastry case. Can you talk a little bit about the food? Thanks a lot, Zack.
Yeah, no problem, and I appreciate it. What we're gonna do, why I'm hiring this chef now, because I'm trying to focus on the coffee, and I kind of just brought the food in as something to just have for the customers. Now, hiring the chef, we're focusing on what you're talking about as a ham and egg and cheese frittata. It's basically a quiche without the crust. Cup of Joy is a place for a lot of moms to come and chat. They don't like the gluten. They don't like the carbs and the crust. So it's, like I said, a quiche without the crust. That's just one breakfast item. I know we're going to look to do, I've talked to my chef, with a ham and cheese croissant. We have all different types of pastries. And then also with our panini sandwiches, we do the chicken artichoke, and we're going to do a tomato basil pesto. And we now have a professional that knows how to make food correctly, and we built the kitchen out to where we're going to expand our lunch menu quite a bit.
Now, I haven't been to Cup of Joy. Do you have an outdoor cafe? Is it outdoors?
Yes. We do have a patio.
Can you sit outdoors?
We do have a patio that's kind of grown. It's up to my landlords to build it out, so I've kind of been at their mercy, but they've done a great job of building it.
So you're going to expand a little bit outdoors.
So we can have another about 15 seats outside, and this weather right now is beautiful for it. We're working on putting up shade outside for the hot summer months, some misters, because farmers market's coming in Old Town Clovis.
What's your advice to business owners who want to do the same as you did? Maybe not with a coffee house, but with another business, and they're skeptical. Maybe they lack the confidence, don't know if it's going to work. What would your advice be to them?
My advice would be, is you look at what you're trying to get into. You do your research, the industry research, by going out and seeing what other companies are doing that you're going to be competing against. And then to me, just do it better. Don't cheap out. Don't be afraid to spend the money, because that was one of the things. I could have bought the espresso machine that didn't cost $15,000. It cost $10,000, but it wouldn't have kept up. And I just spent the money that was necessary. So when you come in, people who do know your industry, they go, okay, this person did it right. They brought in the best. And people want the best. You know, we're in a day and age where it's all about quantity instead of quality. And so I just kind of reverse the time and focus on the quality of my product and the customer care that we give our customers, and it's really benefited. And I would love, like, I have a passion for entrepreneurs, and come to Cup of Joy. I'll buy you a cup of coffee and we'll talk business and to help success, because this government in California does not make it easy for us.
I was just going to ask you that, but we'll talk on the other side of the break. Zack Follett is our guest, and he is the owner of Cup of Joy in the city of Clovis. It's in downtown Clovis. It's right near the 500 Club. That's a famous landmark, of course, in the old town. 436 MeTV option 11. We're back with our show in just a moment.
1 Adam 12.
This is Adam 12. It stars Martin Milner as Officer Pete Malloy, Kent McCord as Officer Jim Reed.
1 Adam 12, roger.
This black and white patrol car has an overhead valve V8 engine. It develops 325 horsepower at 4,800 RPMs. It accelerates from 0 to 60 in 7 seconds. It has a top speed of 120 miles an hour. The automobile has 2 shotgun racks, one attached to the bottom portion of the front seat, one in the vehicle trunk.
You want me to drive?
Now on MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
And back here on our show, the focus, of course, is on business. Cup of Joy is the focus today, of course. Talking to Zack Follett, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but I mean, did this cost a lot of money to start that? You don't have to give us a figure, but was it a lot or a little? Did you have to borrow? I mean, I'm trying to give people out there an idea of what they would have to do to start something similar, not a coffee shop, but let's say they want to start an insurance business or whatever.
Right. No.
Does it cost a lot of money?
It does. Start? To be honest, the figures at the coffee school that they gave me, they're saying it's going to cost $225,000 to open a coffee shop, which is money that I did not have. You know, I went to the NFL. I saved as much as I could, and it was so awesome how the NFL was a platform for seeing God's plan later down the road. Have saved that money to where, because I'm not a guy that likes to borrow money, be in debt.
But I mean, that's a startup cost just for equipment. Just forget about hiring.
Well, what it is build out. You know, the build out is a lot of money, and so what I did was I designed it myself. If I went to 50 different coffee shops, I should have a pretty good understanding of how to design a coffee shop.
Now, when you designed it, did you just draw it out on paper?
Up on paper. I got the floor plan from the owners, and I just kind of sat there and just every night drew it up, changed it, go to other coffee shops, see what they're doing, because that's the architect. They can charge you to build it out themselves. It's about $120,000. I called the guy. I need you to build this out. $120,000. He said. I went to my landlords who could build it out themselves. It cost me $35,000 to just do it myself with the work of them building the stuff. So there's different options. You know, just be careful in business. There's always people out there to try to steal from you in different ways. And it was hard because here I am, a 24-year-old kid. I just got out of the NFL. Other business people that I worked with looked at me and said, okay, here's a kid who knows nothing about business that has NFL pockets, so we're gonna score on getting some money from him.
Yeah, we're gonna score on getting some money.
So I just have to be wise and use some intimidation that I learned on the football field so they didn't push me around, but it's been fun.
That's good. That's good. Hey, speaking of the NFL, I want to put up some full-screen photos of Zack Follett playing in the National Football League. Of course, you played how long? How many years total?
I played 2 years in the NFL, drafted in 2009.
There, right?
Yeah, just recovered a fumble.
Okay.
Me celebrating.
So you played 2 years, making a tackle on somebody there from the Giants.
I believe it was Brandon Jacobs, big boy from New York, and this was actually the last game I played in, because you'll see the next picture here. Suffered a neck injury. Went head-to-head with a big D lineman running down on kickoff, snapped my neck back, disc slipped out, tapped my spinal cord. And so I kind of lost feeling, and they carried me out. So I look at it, it's funny because my type of spirit, it would have taken something this drastic to get me out of football, you know, because I just had such a passion for it.
Yeah.
And everything works for a reason, and everything works for the good.
What do you think? Oh, look at this picture here. Now,
Okay.
explain this.
Okay, so I know you guys heard of the Cat Haven up in
Right.
above Fresno. I was a Lion. This one I just got drafted, and I decided that it would be cool to make some YouTube videos and to go into a lion cage and to say that I was getting tips from lions on how to tackle. And yeah, I'm obviously, you can see I'm a guy that doesn't have too much fear, and that lion looked a little hungry, but I made it out alive.
My goodness. And you know, we have a video of you with one of the lions. You want to roll that? Go ahead and roll it.
Basically, I'm in here at the Cat Haven, taking on lions, getting some tips about what I need to do, become more aggressive, you know what I mean? I can't lose my edge. NFL's a very competition. Next guy's come and take my job. Well, I guarantee you my guy ain't in with the Lions learning how it's done. You know what I mean? When I became a Detroit Lion, I didn't think it would go this far. But, you know what I mean? This is sweet.
Coming back your way.
Coming back for a tackle.
Hey, 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 hey.
You don't know that word. Why did you just... No.
Hey.
Be nice.
Maybe he does know tackle. Hey. That's going to be all this free agent talk the Lions been doing. I think Pele's our next recruit. Send him down. Just imagine we had this Lion down on kickoff. You know what I mean? We'd be set. I'd put him on the left side. The left side's my side.
You know, that that makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up just looking at that video. That's unbelievable. What gave you the courage to be able to do that?
I don't know, man. I feel like if it's my time to go, then it's my time to go.
Oh my goodness.
The fortunate thing, they put me in with the female lion, because the male one, when I went up to his cage, I've never heard a more intimidating, vicious sound than the deep roar of a lion.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it is something intimidating.
Well, you know, there was a young lady that was killed up there about a year ago, was it, or a year or two ago?
It was by that lion, actually.
That lion there?
Not the one that I was. The male. The male that I was saying was so intimidating.
Yeah.
And been just such a tragic accident. Something of not remembering to put a cage down, because I can't tell you how many times I leave my house and don't lock the door, and something that small to where this lion got out and just jumped up and just one whack broke her neck, and it was a tragic accident, but they've rebounded, you know, and it was just...
You still go up there once in a while?
Yeah, I still go up there and check it out. I got friends up there, and they're really awesome people that start that.
Zach, let me ask you while you're here, what do you think about all the talk lately, the last couple of years? Of course, the NFL settled a lawsuit with some of the head injuries that are taking place. You were one of the most vicious, not vicious, but one of the most aggressive players in the National Football League. The head injuries, it dominates the game right now, the concussions. What do you think? What are your thoughts about that?
I mean, to not put all the blame on them, we know what we're doing when we're running down there. It's a risk that we cause. It's a game that we love to do. And they're trying, because the head injuries have been such a big topic in the media, they've tried to do some things to cover their image and to pay some players. But I think what's going on, just the other effects that, I mean, shoulder surgeries, the neck injuries that happen to players that really get swept under the rug. That
should the NFL be doing more, or are they ruining the game to a certain extent by changing too many rules to protect players? Well, it's not like the old days.
Right. I think, well, now, the old days, they only practiced or played maybe 4 months out of the year, and then they'd drink beer the rest. You know, now we have guys training 365 days, and you're creating your body as a weapon out there.
And you're playing like 18 games.
18 games, and so I don't know what they should do. I know that they are, as a defensive player, very frustrating, the way that they're penalizing, and I would understand a penalty, but to fine a guy $75,000 for doing his job is very frustrating, and I'm glad that I'm out of that.
How are you feeling physically now? Pretty good?
Physically, I'm in pain every day, to be honest, but it's something that I signed up for. I can't complain to anyone but myself, and then I also made a kind of a little note to myself of never to complain about it, because no matter what's wrong with me or in life, no one likes to be around negative people.
That's true.
I just didn't want to be negative.
Hey, quickly, we got 30 seconds left. You grew up in Clovis. You went to what elementary school?
Cedarwood Elementary.
Little plug there.
Yeah.
Middle school.
And then Clark Intermediate.
And then Clovis High School.
And Clovis High School.
And of course Cal one of my favorite all-time football schools. Hey, we're running out of time. 10 seconds left. Phone number real quick to Cup of Joy.
298. 7234, and the hours are from 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday, closed on Sunday.
All right, Zack Follett, always good to see you. You're welcome back here anytime.
I appreciate it.
Good luck to you with Cup of Joy.
Appreciate it.
Zack Follett, the owner of Cup of Joy in Clovis near the 500 Club. Go check it out. We're back tomorrow with another edition of Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno, Comcast 187.
Do you like me?
Just like me.
Like MeTV Fresno on Facebook. Get the latest news, interact with others, watch videos, become a fan of me. Exclusively brought to you by Ventura TV.
From the pages of history and the untamed prairies of a young nation comes one of television's and America's most memorable folk heroes.
Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man.
Well, you're Daniel Boone.
Yep. Fess Parker stars as the legendary Daniel Boone, with Ed Ames as his trusty sidekick, Mingo.
Pleasure indeed. A Kentuckian named Daniel Boone.
That's me.
Watch Daniel Boone, weekday mornings at 9, 8 Central on MeTV.